The stars looked different from the underwater viewing dome. Kate Morrison liked that. After 12 hours staring at equations and failed simulations, she needed different. The vast Pacific Ocean pressed against the curved glass ceiling of her lab, filtering the night sky through hundreds of feet of water. Fish occasionally drifted past, curious about the strange human habitat below. Kate rubbed her tired eyes and turned back to her workstation. On her screen, another simulation crashed with the same error message that had haunted her for months. Model failure. Proposed physics contradicts established universal constants. Maybe the universe is wrong, Kate muttered to herself. Her computer chimed with an incoming message. It was from her boss, Director Paul Harris. Turn on the news. First contact happening now. Kate switched her largest screen to the global news feed. The feed showed a massive ship entering Earth orbit. It was beautiful and terrifying. Sleek silver-blue metal formed into elegant curves that seemed impossible for something so large. Smaller ships surrounded it like fish around a whale. This is not a drill or a hoax, the news anchor said, her voice shaking slightly. The United Earth government confirms we have made contact with an alien civilization calling themselves the Galactic Hegemony. Kate felt her heart race. Humanity had wondered about alien life for centuries. Now they were here, and she was watching history unfold. The news showed Earth's hastily assembled welcome committee, Space Force ships, humanity's pride just yesterday, looked like toys next to the alien vessels. NASA Director Olivia Wright and Space Force Commander Alan Patterson led the human delegation. Kate's private line buzzed. It was her old college. Roommate Lily Zhao, now a junior officer in Space Force. Are you seeing this? Lily's voice was a whisper, though no one could overhear her. I am, Kate replied. They're big. You don't know the half of it. I'm on the Liberty right now. These alien ships are generating energy readings that break our sensors. And Kate, they've been watching us for decades. They know everything about us. The news feed switched to the first images from inside the main hegemony vessel. The aliens were roughly humanoid but taller, with iridescent skin in shades of blue and green. Their leader introduced himself as High Admiral Zex Talon, People of Earth. The translation came through clearly, his voice deep and melodious. The Galactic Hegemony welcomes you to the interstellar community. We have observed your civilization with great interest as you took your first steps into space. The alien's mouth formed what might have been a smile, but something about it made Kate uneasy. 3 days later, Kate watched the farewell ceremony with growing anger. The hegemony delegation had spent their time on Earth examining human technology, asking questions about resources, and making what Commander Patterson called thinly veiled threats wrapped in diplomacy. Now they stood in front of Earth's newest prototype vessels. The pride of human engineering, the fusion-powered UES Horizon and the experimental UES Pathfinder with its ion propulsion system. High Admiral Zex Talon walked around the Pathfinder, his fingers trailing along its hull. Interesting, very interesting, he said, but his tone suggested the opposite. Your propulsion methods are quaint. The Pathfinder can reach Mars in just 30 days, Commander Patterson said stiffly. This prompted actual laughter from the hegemony delegation. One of them, a science officer named Velcorax, pulled out a small device and showed it to his colleagues. More laughter followed. Forgive us, Zex Talon said, not sounding sorry at all. Your ship would take 30 days to travel a distance our slowest cargo haulers cross in hours. And your theories about faster-than-light travel are... He paused, searching for a diplomatic word. Adorable. Kate felt her cheeks burn with second-hand embarrassment. Humanity had reached for the stars with everything they had, and these aliens were treating them like children showing off crayon drawings. The hegemony is prepared to offer Earth membership. Zex Talon continued. As a Category 4 civilization, you would supply raw materials to more advanced worlds and receive technology in return. Carefully managed technology, of course. You're not ready for the real things yet. And if we decline, NASA Director Wright asked, then you remain isolated. The universe is a dangerous place for primitive species without protection. The threat was clear even through the veneer of diplomacy. The hegemony delegation departed the next day, promising to return in 3 years to formalize Earth's status in the galactic hegemony. Kate Morrison went back to her underwater lab with renewed purpose. That night she stood again under the viewing dome, looking up at the stars through the shifting waters. "Director Harris is cutting your funding," Lily told her over the secure line. "After the hegemony visit, everyone's focusing on conventional improvements they think might impress our new alien overlords. Let me guess. Slightly better fusion engines? Marginally more efficient life support?" Kate asked, bitterness edging her voice. "Something like that. The United Earth government is scrambling. Nobody wants to be a Category 4 civilization. Nobody wants to be the galaxy's mine workers." Kate was quiet for a long moment. "What if we could skip ahead? Jump right past their technology? You're still working on your reality fold theory? Even after all the simulation failures?" "The simulations fail because they're built on conventional physics," Kate said, watching a school of silverfish dart across the dome. "The hegemony thinks we're trapped in the same box they are. But what if we're not?" "Kate, I need your help, Lily. I need data from the hegemony ships and their energy signatures, radiation patterns, everything your sensors recorded. That's classified now. So is my work. Please, Lily." They laughed at us. There was a long pause. Then, "I'll see what I can do, but Kate, be careful. If you're right, if you find something that could threaten the hegemony's power over us, then Earth will have a bargaining chip," Kate finished, "or a target on its back." In her lab, alone except for the fish swimming overhead, Kate opened a new project file. She named it Defiant. The name felt right. A small act of defiance against an empire that thought humans were just clever apes playing with technology they couldn't understand. 3 years, she whispered to herself. "We have 3 years to change the rules of the game. Beyond the dome, beyond the ocean, beyond Earth's atmosphere, the stars continued their cold, distant burning. Somewhere out there, the hegemony ships were already spreading the word about the amusing primitives of Sol 3. They would return expecting a broken, submissive Earth. Kate Morrison intended to give them something very different. 2 years and 4 months had passed since the hegemony's visit. Kate Morrison's underwater lab had changed. What was once a quiet research station now buzzed with activity. 30 scientists worked around the clock. The walls were covered with equations and diagrams. In the center of the main lab stood a metal ring 15 feet across, the 4th prototype of Kate's reality fold drive. "Power levels stable at 60%, called out Dr. Victor Hayes from his monitoring station. The quantum physicist had joined Kate's team 1 year ago. He didn't fully understand her theories at first, but he recognized brilliance when he saw it. "Initiating fold sequence," Kate said, her fingers dancing across the control panel. The metal ring began to hum. Blue energy sparked around its edges. Grace Chen, their AI specialist, monitored the test object, a small probe equipped with sensors. Object insertion in 3, 2, 1. The robotic arm pushed the probe toward the center of the ring. As it crossed the threshold, everyone held their breath. For a brief moment, the probe seemed to exist in 2 places at once, half inside the ring, half somewhere else. Then it disintegrated. Again. Alarms blared. The energy field collapsed. Kate slammed her fist on the console. "That's the 3rd probe. This month," Victor said quietly. Kate rubbed her tired eyes. "The theory is sound. We're missing something. 8 months until the hegemony returned. 8 months to save Earth from becoming a mining colony." "Dr. Morrison?" A voice came over the intercom. "Director Harris is here. He wants to speak with you privately." Kate's stomach tightened. Paul Harris, once her mentor, now represented the United Earth government's growing doubts about her project. He waited in her small office, looking out the window at the fish swimming by. "Kate," he said, not turning around. "I've been called to Washington tomorrow. The funding committee wants my recommendation." "We're close, Paul. I know we've had setbacks." "Setbacks?" He turned to face her. 3 years, billions in funding, and your drive still destroys anything that touches it. Meanwhile, the conventional programs have made real progress. The new fusion engines are 30% more efficient. And the hegemony will still laugh at them, Kate said. 30%, better than nothing is still nothing, Harris sighed. I've supported you from the beginning. I believe in you. But I need something to show them. They're talking about pulling all funding and redirecting it to defense systems. Give me 2 more weeks, Kate said. 2 weeks to solve the phase variance problem. If I can't deliver results by then, Harris nodded slowly. 2 weeks, but Kate, after that? He didn't finish the sentence. He didn't need to. That night, Kate couldn't sleep. She left her quarters and wandered to the observation dome. The Pacific Ocean's weight pressed down above her. Fish swam through the moonlight filtering down from the surface. Kate found peace here, watching the water move in currents and patterns. Her daughter's voice surprised her. Mom, what are you doing up? Laura Morrison, 10 years old, stood in the entrance to the dome. She wore pajamas with stars on them. When the project began, Kate had brought Laura to live at the underwater facility. She couldn't bear the thought of being separated from her daughter for years. Just thinking, sweetheart. Why are you awake? Laura sat beside her mother. I had a weird dream. I was swimming, but not in water. It was like swimming through everything and nothing at the same time. Kate smiled. That sounds like a strange dream. It wasn't scary, though. It felt right, like that's how things should be. Laura made swimming motions with her hands, not pushing against the water but becoming part of it. Does that make sense? Kate stared at her daughter. Something clicked in her mind. She jumped to her feet. Laura, you're brilliant, she cried, hugging her confused daughter. That's it. We've been trying to force our way through reality, but we need to become part of the fold. Kate rushed to the lab, Laura trailing behind her. She began typing frantically, making changes to the equations that had stumped her for months. Mom, did I help? Laura asked sleepily. Kate paused and knelt down to her daughter's level. You just might have saved Earth, sweetheart. 1 week later, the team gathered for another test. The mood was tense. If this failed, it would likely be their last attempt. The difference, Kate explained to the team, is that we've been treating the boundary between dimensions as a wall to punch through, but it's more like a current to swim with. We don't force the ship into another dimension. We let reality fold around it like water around a swimmer. Grace Chen's fingers flew across her keyboard. The new algorithms show a 96% reduction in phase variance. Power at 70% and stable, Victor reported. The field is stronger than ever, but using less energy. Major Steve Russell, their test pilot, stood ready beside a larger probe equipped with a cockpit. If this works, I want to be the first human to experience the fold. Let's make sure the probe survives first, Kate said. She nodded to Grace. Begin transmission of the new field patterns. The metal ring hummed to life. Blue energy crackled, forming a perfect circle within the ring. Unlike previous tests, the energy remained stable, rippling like water. Inserting test object, Grace announced. The robotic arm pushed a small sphere into the field. The sphere touched the energy and didn't disintegrate. Instead, it seemed to shimmer, becoming transparent, then solid again. Sensors showed it had briefly existed in 2 places at once, in the lab and 1 kilometer away in another section of the underwater facility. The team erupted in cheers. Kate felt tears in her eyes. Director Harris arrived an hour later, summoned by the news. Kate showed him the data. 2 places at once, Harris whispered. Instantaneous travel. We need to scale it up, Kate said. Build a ship around this technology. We have 7 months before the hegemony returns. Harris nodded. You'll have everything you need. The UEG will approve unlimited resources. One more thing, Kate said. I want to name the ship. What did you have in mind? Kate thought of the name she'd given her project 3 years ago, when the hegemony had laughed at humanity's efforts. Defiant, she said. We'll call her the UES Defiant. Beyond the facility, beyond the ocean depths, Earth prepared for the hegemony's return. But now, for the first time, they prepared not with fear, but with hope. And deep beneath the Pacific, a revolution in physics took shape, one that would soon change the universe. The day the hegemony returned, Earth's sky filled with alien ships. They were bigger than before, a show of force that made humanity's message clear. Resistance was pointless. High Admiral Zexatalan expected to find a planet ready to accept its place in the galactic order. Instead, he found Commander Samantha Baker standing alone on the landing pad at the United Earth Government headquarters in Geneva. Zexatalan's translator converted his words to English. "Commander Baker, you are Earth's representative." Sam nodded. At 42, she had earned her rank through 20 years in Space Force. When Earth needed someone to face the hegemony, they chose her. Calm under pressure, smart, and most importantly, unimpressed by power. "Welcome back to Earth, Admiral," she said. "I'm afraid we're not ready to sign your treaty." The alien's iridescent skin shifted colors slightly, showing surprise or perhaps anger. "This is unexpected. Your leaders indicated 3 years ago that Earth understood its position." "Plans change," Sam said. "We'd like to propose something different." "Different?" Zextalan's 7-foot frame seemed to grow larger as he looked down at her. "Earth has nothing to bargain with. Your technology is centuries behind ours. Your military power is insignificant." Sam smiled. "Then you won't mind a small challenge." She pointed to a small ship parked at the edge of the landing field. It looked unremarkable, about the size of a passenger jet, silver with blue stripes along its hull. The name UES Defiant was painted on its side. "That's our newest prototype," Sam explained. "We propose a race, from Earth to Neptune and back. If your fastest ship wins, Earth will accept Category 4 status without complaint. If we win, you agree to grant Earth full membership in the hegemony, Category 1, with all rights and privileges." The hegemony delegation broke into laughter. Zextalan's second-in-command, a female alien named Miravex, whispered something in their language. More laughter followed. "You understand," Zextalan said slowly, as if explaining to a child, "that our slowest cargo hauler could make that journey in hours while your best ships would take months?" "Then you have nothing to worry about," Sam replied calmly. "Do we have a deal?" Zextalan studied her face, then the small Earth ship. "Very well. The challenge is accepted. It will be educational, for your people to witness true technology in action." Within the hour, both ships prepared for launch. The hegemony chose their fastest scout ship, the Stellar Dart, commanded by Captain Krelvar, known for winning racing competitions across the galaxy. Sam walked toward the Defiant, where Kate Morrison was making final checks on the drive system. "They took the bait," Sam said. Kate looked up from her tablet. "They're so sure of themselves. Did you see how their ship looks? All those decorative elements designed to show off their style and wealth. Not a single one of those curves is functional. That's what happens after 10,000 years without real competition," Sam replied. "They forgot what it's like to face a challenge." On the bridge of the Defiant, the small crew prepared for launch. Sam took the captain's chair. Kate managed the reality fold drive. Pilot Steve Russell sat at the controls while Victor Hayes monitored the sensors. Grace Chen oversaw the ship's AI systems. "Remember the plan," Sam told them. "We need to sell this, make it look like we're trying our best with conventional engines until we reach the halfway point." The countdown began. Both ships lifted off. The ground, the hegemony vessel rising with elegant grace, the Defiant with workmanlike efficiency. "Race begins on my mark," came the voice of the UEG president over the comm. 3, 2, 1 mark. The Stellar Dart accelerated with incredible speed, becoming a bright streak against the sky. The Defiant followed, pushing its conventional engines to their limit, but quickly falling behind. "They're broadcasting on open channels," Grace reported. "They want us to hear them." Sam nodded. "Put it on speakers." The voice of Captain Krelvar filled the bridge. "Humans, You should be honored to witness real technology. We're already passing Mars. How far have you reached? Sam smiled. Send them our position. Earth vessel defiant. Krelvar's voice came again, now with obvious amusement. At your current speed, you will reach Neptune in approximately 7 months. We will be there in 2 hours. Perhaps you would like to concede now? Tell them we're still evaluating our engine's performance, Sam replied, and that we appreciate the opportunity to learn from superior technology. The bridge crew suppressed their laughter. The hegemony ship continued to pull ahead, unaware of what waited. 3 hours passed. The stellar dart had reached Neptune, circled the designated marker buoy, and was halfway back to Earth. They're broadcasting their victory. Speech already, Grace said. I think it's time. Sam looked at Kate. Ready? Kate nodded. Reality fold drive charged and ready. Coordinates locked on Neptune. Engage. Kate pressed her hand against the activation panel. The reality fold drive hummed to life. Blue energy surrounded the ship. For a brief moment, everyone on board felt a strange sensation, as if they were both solid and liquid at the same time. Then Neptune filled their view screen. Position confirmed, Victor called out. We're in orbit around Neptune. Turn us around, Sam ordered. Lock coordinates on Earth. The hegemony ship is hailing us with urgent messages, Grace reported. They're asking how we got here. Don't respond yet, Sam said. Let's finish this race first. Kate activated the drive again. The strange sensation returned. Neptune vanished from the view screen, replaced by the blue-green sphere of Earth. We've arrived at Earth, Steve announced. Total journey time, 4 minutes, 12 seconds. The bridge erupted in cheers. Sam let them celebrate for a moment before, raising her hand for quiet. Grace opened a channel to the stellar dart. Captain Krelvar's face appeared on screen. The alien looked confused and angry. How did you... We decided to take a shortcut, Sam said calmly. Our ship is now docked, back at Geneva. Would you like us to send a shuttle to bring you some coffee while you finish the race? We brew excellent coffee on Earth. The alien captain had no response. His mouth opened and closed without sound. By the way, Sam added, the treaty signing ceremony is scheduled for tomorrow morning. We look forward to discussing Earth's Category 1 membership in the hegemony. She signaled Grace to end the transmission. The bridge was silent for a moment, then Kate spoke. Do you think they'll honor the agreement? Sam looked at her crew, the brilliant minds who had just changed humanity's future. They don't have a choice. The balance of power just shifted. They just don't know how much yet. On Earth, news of the Defiant's victory spread like wildfire. Humanity celebrated in every city, every village. For the first time in 3 years, people looked up, at the stars not with fear but with hope. The morning after the race, High Admiral Zex Talon requested an inspection of the Defiant. He brought his best scientists, including Chief Researcher Nevrix, an alien with 6 fingers on each hand and a reputation for solving impossible problems. You understand we must verify your ship's capabilities, Zex Talon said as Kate Morrison led the delegation through the Defiant's corridors. Of course, Kate replied. We have nothing to hide. That wasn't entirely true. The night before, Earth's leaders had debated how much to reveal. They decided to show the drive system but keep certain aspects of the technology classified. The hegemony would learn Earth could travel faster than any known ship, but not exactly how. In the engine room, Nevrix circled the reality fold drive. The device looked simple, a ring of metal surrounding a sphere of swirling blue energy. Impossible, the alien scientist muttered, scanning the drive with his instruments. These readings contradict fundamental laws of physics. Not contradicting, Kate corrected, expanding. The universe has more laws than you've discovered. Nevrix's skin changed color, showing irritation. Our civilization has studied physics for 50,000 years. We have mapped every possible form of faster-than-light travel, except this one, Kate said quietly. The alien turned to Zex Talon and spoke in their language. The Admiral's expression darkened. Is something wrong? Kate asked. He claims your device is a trick. Zex Talon, replied, that no species at your development stage could make such a leap. Sam Baker, who had been quietly watching from the doorway, stepped forward. Perhaps the hegemony would like another demonstration. We could arrange a journey to Alpha Centauri. Your fastest ships make that trip in what? 6 days? Nevrix consulted his device. 5 days, 14 hours at maximum speed. The Defiant can be there in 8 minutes, Sam said. Would you like to come along? The silence that followed told Kate everything. The hegemony representatives were beginning to understand the true implications of Earth's discovery. Later that day, Earth's leaders met with the hegemony delegation to discuss the treaty. President Maria Alvarez led the human side. The large conference room had windows overlooking Lake Geneva, its blue waters sparkling in the sunlight. As agreed, Earth will receive Category 1 status, Zex Talon began, his voice formal. This includes full voting rights in the Galactic Council, unrestricted trade access, and technology exchange programs. We appreciate that, President Alvarez replied. However, we've been discussing the treaty further, and we have concerns. Concerns? Zex Talon's skin rippled with surprise. Yes. Specifically about the technology exchange requirements. The treaty states that all member worlds must share significant technological advancements with the hegemony. This is standard, Zex's Talon said. The hegemony has brought peace to the galaxy through shared progress. Sam Baker, sitting beside the president, spoke up. Yet in 3,000 years there have been no major advances in propulsion technology. How is that possible in a society that shares knowledge? The admiral shifted uncomfortably. Some technologies reach their natural limits. Or some technologies are controlled, Sam suggested. Kept from species that might challenge the established order. Zex Talon's second-in-command, Miravex, leaned forward. What exactly are you proposing, humans? A modified agreement, President Alvarez said. Earth will join the hegemony but maintain independent control of the reality fold technology. We will use it for peaceful exploration and trade, but we will not surrender the technical specifications. The conference room erupted with objections from the hegemony side. Words like unprecedented and unacceptable filled the air. President Alvarez let them finish before speaking again. Admiral, in the past 3 years, Earth went from a Category 4 civilization to developing technology that surpasses your fastest ships. Imagine what we might discover in another 3 years if we continue our independent research. Is that a threat? Zex Talon asked quietly. Not at all, the president replied. It's an invitation to a new kind of partnership, one based on mutual respect rather than dominance. That evening, Kate Morrison sat alone in her office reviewing data from the drive tests. A knock at her door surprised her. It was Nevrix, the hegemony scientist. May I come in? The alien asked. Unofficially. Kate nodded, curious. Nevrix closed the door and spoke softly. Your reality fold technology is remarkable. Truly revolutionary. Thank you, Kate said cautiously. You should know something about the hegemony, the alien continued. We were once like you, curious, innovative, pushing boundaries. But over thousands of years, power concentrated among the founding species. Innovation became inconvenient. What do you mean? New technologies can disrupt political systems, Nevrix explained. The ruling council found it easier to control existing technologies than adapt to new ones. Research that might challenge their authority is discouraged. Kate understood. Immediately. They suppress discoveries. Not officially, the alien scientist said. But funding disappears. Data is classified. Promising researchers find their careers redirected. Why are you telling me this? Nevrix's skin shifted to a deep blue color. Because in 50 years of research, I've never seen anything like your drive. It doesn't just change how we travel between stars. It changes how we understand reality itself. They talked for hours about physics and the nature of reality. Despite their different origins, Kate found they shared the same scientific curiosity, the same desire to understand the universe's secrets. As dawn approached, Nevrix prepared to leave. The council will agree to your terms, he said. They have no choice, but be careful. Your discovery threatens thousands of years of hegemony control. Some will not accept this change easily. What will you do? Kate asked. Return to my research. With new questions, the alien replied. Your work has opened possibilities I never considered. Perhaps it's time for a scientific renaissance in the galaxy. 3 days later, Earth signed a modified treaty with the Galactic Hegemony. Earth would join as a Category 1 civilization, but retain exclusive control of the reality fold technology. The news spread across the planet, and for the first time in Earth's history, humanity celebrated as truly one world, one people, looking to the stars not as a distant dream but as their new frontier. As the hegemony ships prepared to depart, Sam Baker stood beside Kate on the observation deck of the space station. So, Sam said, what's next? Kate smiled. We go exploring. There's a whole universe out there and we just got a head start. 5 years passed quickly. Earth changed in ways few could have imagined before the Defiant's historic race. The reality fold drive transformed everything: trade, exploration, and Earth's place in the galaxy. Kate Morrison stood at the window of her new office in the Interspecies Innovation Institute. The building rose from an artificial island in San Francisco Bay, its gleaming towers designed by both human and alien architects. From her window, Kate could see ships arriving from a dozen worlds, scientists, engineers, and thinkers drawn to Earth's sudden leap forward. Dr. Morrison, they're ready for you in the main hall, her assistant said from the doorway. Kate nodded. Thank you, Eli. She smoothed her formal jacket and took a deep breath. 5 years ago, she had been working alone in an underwater lab. Now she led 3,000 researchers from 17 species. The main hall buzzed with conversation in multiple languages. Translation devices handled the complex task of making different biologies understand each other. Kate took her place at the podium, and the room quieted. Welcome to the 5th anniversary celebration of the Interspecies Innovation Institute, she began. When we founded this center, many doubted that different species with different ways of thinking could truly collaborate. They were wrong. Gestured to the holographic display behind her, showing the Institute's achievements, new medical technologies, energy systems, and improvements to the reality fold drive that made it safer and more efficient. Together we've proven that sharing knowledge makes us all stronger, Kate continued. Today I'm pleased to announce our most ambitious project yet, the Explorer Initiative. The hologram changed to show a new ship design, larger than the Defiant, with smooth lines and expanded research facilities. The UES Explorer will be the first ship designed to travel beyond our galaxy, Kate explained. Its mission, to make contact with the intelligent signals we've detected from the Andromeda Galaxy. The announcement caused excited murmurs throughout the hall. Kate smiled. 5 years ago, such a journey would have seemed impossible. Now it was simply the next step. After her speech, Kate found herself approached by a familiar blue-skinned figure. Nevrix, now Earth's primary scientific liaison from the hegemony. An impressive announcement, the alien said. Though I notice you didn't mention the concerns from the Galactic Council. Kate sighed. Politics isn't my area, Nevrix. I focus on the science. The politics and science are inseparable now. Nevrix replied. The Council fears what you might find in Andromeda. New civilizations that haven't accepted hegemony authority. New technologies that might further disrupt the balance of power. They can't stop human exploration, Kate said firmly. No, but they can make things difficult. Trade restrictions, diplomatic pressure. Nevrix's skin shifted to a concerned purple hue. Some council members have even suggested more direct measures. Kate's eyes widened. They wouldn't risk open conflict. Most wouldn't, the alien agreed. But you've changed the universe, Kate. The old powers are still adjusting to that reality. Later that day, Kate met with Admiral Samantha Baker in the secure conference room of Earth Space Command. Sam had aged well in 5 years, her hair showing only touches of gray at the temples, Her uniform now carried the additional insignia of Fleet Commander. "Nevrix warned me about potential pushback from the Council," Kate explained. Sam nodded. "Our intelligence suggests the same. The hegemony has split into factions. The progressives want to work with us. The traditionalists see us as a threat." "And the Explorer mission?" "We'll proceed as planned," Sam said firmly, "but with additional security measures. The Explorer will have military escorts, and we're accelerating production of ships equipped with the Reality Fold drive." "I never intended my work to create conflict," Kate said quietly. Sam's expression softened. "No scientist ever does. But history shows that major technological leaps always cause disruption. The printing press, electricity, nuclear power, the internet. Your drive is no different, just on a galactic scale." Kate looked at the wall display showing Earth's growing fleet of ships. "Will there be war?" "I don't know," Sam admitted, "but Earth will be prepared either way." That evening, Kate returned home to her apartment overlooking the bay. Her daughter Laura, now 15, was studying in the living room. She had grown tall in 5 years, her face showing hints of the woman she would become. "How was the big announcement?" Laura asked, looking up from her tablet. "Good. Exciting." Kate sat beside her daughter. "But complicated." "Because of the hegemony?" Kate sometimes forgot how perceptive Laura was. "Yes. Some of them aren't happy about our plans to visit Andromeda." Laura shrugged. "They'll get over it. They got over the Reality Fold drive, didn't they?" "Sort of," Kate said. "But this is different. We're talking about exploring beyond their known universe." "Isn't that the point?" Laura asked. "To go beyond what's known?" Kate smiled. Her daughter had a way of simplifying complex problems. "Yes, that's exactly the point." 2 weeks later, Kate stood in the observation lounge of the newly completed Explorer. The ship was in Earth orbit, preparing for its first test flight. Through the large windows, she could see Earth below, beautiful, blue, and now just one of many worlds humans could visit. Commander Julie Rivera, the Explorer's captain, joined her at the window. "Beautiful view, isn't it?" "The best, Kate." "Agreed. Are you nervous about the mission?" Julie asked. Kate considered the question. "Not about the technology, the drive will work. I'm more concerned about what we'll find." "New friends, I hope," Julie said. "New knowledge, certainly. And new complications," Kate added. "But that's always been humanity's path. Moving forward, despite the risks, exploring despite the unknowns." The ship's engines hummed as final preparations began. Kate thought about how far humanity had come since the day the hegemony had laughed at Earth's primitive technology. From a Category 4 civilization to explorers pushing beyond the boundaries of the known galaxy, all in less than a decade. "Dr. Morrison to the bridge," came the announcement over the ship's comm system. "Preparing for first test jump." Kate took one last look at Earth before heading to the bridge. The hegemony had mocked humanity's early steps into space. They weren't laughing anymore. Instead, many were following where Earth now led, into a future of discovery and innovation that no one could have predicted. As Kate walked through the corridors of the Explorer, she passed humans working alongside aliens from a dozen worlds, scientists, engineers, explorers. Together they were about to take the next great leap, not just for Earth, but for all species willing to look beyond the horizon. The universe, as it turned out, was full of surprises, and humanity was just getting started.